no fucking shot that just happened, dude. You've gotta be shitting me. That thing was literally about to fucking crush it. Oh. No. Oh. Come on, baby. Let's go. Holy shit. Yes, dude. Oh, that was disgusting, dude. Oh my god. Nasty. Nasty. All right. Oh my god. Whew. Now. On the Roman-made mother, right there. That was unreal, dude. That was so sick. Nice fish. Yeah. On the mother, dude. Oh, that was disgusting, dude. Holy shit. Alright, we're gonna weigh this fish real fast. Just a nice, beautiful fish. I'm thinking like 6 something probably. Six pounds, 12-ounce fish. Nice fish. Pretty standard out here on this lake for me, at least. Nice. Beautiful fish. Absolutely gorgeous fish. Okay. See you later. Another one. Fuck yeah. On the mother. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, dude. There we go. Another one on the Roman-made mother. Right there. Oh, beautiful fish. So sick, dude. Absolutely smoked it, man. Oh, what a fun bait. Right there. The Roman-made mother. This is a bait that I've absolutely loved ever since really getting into swim baits, and for a wide variety of different reasons. I was very interested in this lure as a concept and as a whole. One of the things that fascinated me as a kid going into swim baits was, well, the size of the lure. It's 12 inches long, it weighs 10 ounces. It's a giant swim bait. And, you know, back then when I was getting into swim baits, throwing a 6-inch Huddleston was a big swim bait. Knowing that there was baits of this caliber and size just fascinated me onto basically what could I use it for? What is the purpose of a bait of that size? Like, what size fish will eat a bait this big? So that was kind of one of the reasons why I thought this thing was really fascinating. Another reason why was obviously what everybody thinks about when they think of a mother is the price of it. Knowing that these things are $400, I was like, man, that is unbelievably expensive for just one swim bait that you could basically make one cast with and snap it off and it sinks down to the bottom of the lake. But learning more about the craftsmanship and, you know, the guy who makes them hand by hand, one by one, I was like, okay, like, it is very expensive, but you're just paying for basically an art piece or somebody's hard work into one bait. And, you know, the other thing with this bait was kind of just the idea that you could catch a fish of a lifetime or a fish of 2 lifetimes. You know, world record class fish could easily eat this thing no problem. And so for many years, I've just really loved the mother. I don't throw it very often. I probably throw the mother once or maybe twice a year. And that's mostly because there's a lot of other swim baits that I think are more practical than the mother. But the last time I threw the mother, I made a video as well, and it was supposed to be kind of this challenge video where I basically was hoping to like, oh, I'm gonna fish this thing every day until I catch a fish. Well, I caught a fish on it the very first day. I had multiple other bites. Like, the mother has powers. It's very hard to explain unless you throw it, but this thing just gets fish to bite it, to investigate it. I mean, it's just something about the profile, the size of it, the swim, that just attracts fish to the bait. And it just is a very magical bait where 95% or maybe even higher percent of swim bait fishermen or even just bass fishermen in general, they're not going to throw this thing. There's like a few select guys that will actually throw this bait on a regular basis. There's guys that will own the mother, but to actually throw it and fish it on a regular basis, that's just nothing that you really see. Now, a decade and a half ago, there was plenty of guys actually throwing this bait because back then, trophy hunting was still kind of sought after for when it comes down to swim baits. Nowadays, most guys just want to throw a swim bait to kind of catch a fish on a swim bait. They're not really too worried about the size of it. But back in the day when guys, you know, in Southern California, out here in Arizona, even some of the guys out east on some of those, you know, mountain trout lakes, they were throwing mothers to try and catch giant bass. And some guys in Southern California caught some giants on it. Obviously, guys on the Appalachian Mountain guys that have those big trout-eating fish out there, they caught fish on the mother. My buddy Manny Chi has caught some giant fish on the mother. So the idea of the mother was, yeah, it's an absolutely gigantic lure. It's very expensive, but you're going to be basically one of the only guys around your bodies of water throwing this bait, and you might see some fish that might not come up on a depth 250 or a Huddleston or anything like that. The drawing power of the mother is basically unbeatable. So the other day, I decided to go out and throw the mother once again on a body of water that I know has giant fish. It's pre-spawn. They should be up, pushing, shallow. And those fish that I caught, that high 6 and a high 5-pounder, those aren't giant fish considering this is a massive lure designed for double-digit teener and world record class fish. You know, when you're catching 5 and 6 pounders on this bait, they're not really big fish or fish that you're really throwing the bait for. Like, if I'm fishing for 5 and 6 pounders, I'd rather just throw like a 9-inch lure or an 8-inch lure. That makes more practical sense. When I'm throwing a bait like this, I'm honestly targeting the biggest fish in the lake. So it kind of just goes to show that a lot of guys are kind of afraid to fish a bait of this size, thinking like, I don't have teener class fish in my lake or in my place of where I'm fishing. Why would I ever throw a mother? Well, as you guys saw, you don't have to have that caliber of fish. Most bodies of water in the US have 5 and 6 pounders, and you can easily throw a mother to get a lot of those fish that might be pressured and hip to other things to come up and investigate and even bite the mother. So really, it kind of just goes to show, like, a lot of guys are skeptical on a lot of swim baits out there, especially some of the ones that are in the larger category, that they kind of get in their own heads of like, I don't have that fish here, or I just don't have confidence in it. You just never know. Obviously, the price tag really hurts, and you have to have a very dedicated setup to even throw something like this. In the video, I was throwing a Lowdown Custom. This is the standard issue. This is the double extra heavy rod. It's an 8-foot. This is something, again, where it's very over the top. Just basically to throw 1 or 2 baits, you have to have a completely different setup. An extra heavy rod just does not cut it throwing that mother. You have to go up to the extra heavy rod. A lot of guys don't want to invest, because if you buy a mother, for the most part, most guys, when they start swimbait fishing, they're going to have like a medium heavy, a heavy, and an extra heavy. If they buy a mother, that means they have to buy a new rod, and sometimes even having to buy a new reel. Like, it's a whole process just to throw one lure that you might fish once in a blue moon. It's really not worth it for a lot of guys. Luckily, I love throwing giant bait still. So like the mother, the Hinkle trout, the KGB king, those giant glide baits, I absolutely still love throwing those. So having an extra heavy rod really comes in clutch. This standard issue has been really kind. It throws the mother really well. So it's been a really good rod. When it comes down to reel, I know a lot of guys think that you might have to go up to like a 400 size reel. I throw all my giant stuff on just a Tatula 300. I think the 300 size handles it perfectly. It has just enough line capacity, so if I wanted to fish like 20-25 pound fluorocarbon, it holds enough line on there. The gears are big enough to handle throwing these giant baits constantly at the 300 size. But once you go up to like a 400 size reel, it really starts to wear you out a lot more. I mean, this extra heavy rod, it's light, but it's still an extra heavy rod, so it's going to be on the heavier side. And if you can go with a slightly bit smaller and lighter reel instead of going up to a 400 size, it's absolutely money. So 300 Tatula, and then I've been rocking, this is 20 pound Abrase X. I've been trying it out this last season. I've had 0 problems. I know a lot of guys have had some problems with their Abrase X snapping. I know, other guys have had some problems with the Abrase X, and I just wanted to try it out because I've heard good things about it in the past, but it seems as recent time that Abrase X, FC Sniper, that stuff, just no good. And so probably after this, I'm going to go back to my Sunline Shooter. I just have always had confidence in Sunline Shooter, but for what I've been fishing recently, it was just that 20 pound Abrase X, which is basically equivalent to like 25 pound FC Sniper, which is what I was used to before. It's got a thicker diameter. I feel like this Abrase X has a little more stretch in it as well. So overall, really good setup for throwing the Roman-made mother and other giant glide baits. But is the mother a practical bait? Absolutely not. But for a guy that kind of grew up always hearing the name Roman-made mother, it's always fun to go out and catch some fish on the bait. So other than that, let me know what kind of giant glide bait you guys have always been interested in, if there is any in your kind of lifestyle, whether it could just be a Depths 250 or even a giant bait like the mother. Let me know with a comment down below. Other than that, thank you guys ever so much for watching. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace out.